So work done in different thermodynamic process. What is the equation for work done? W is equal to minus pressure external delta V. It is a product of pressure and change in volume. We know that gas expand. So there will be internal pressure will be there. So due to that there is a change in volume occur. So if expansion is delta V is a positive. So work done will be negative if the work done by the gas. If the work done by the gas, then W is negative. If work done by the gas, W is negative due to the expansion. If the gas compress, delta V will be negative, then W is positive. So work done on the gas, then W is positive. This is the important point you will be getting in one word answers. So the first process is isochoric process. Core means it is related to volume. So isochoric process. Isochoric process is the process which held it at constant volume. So in isochoric process, work done is W is equal to minus pressure external delta V. So here delta V will be 0. Why? Because V is constant. So that work done also will be 0. So in isochoric process, work done is 0. Next one is isobaric expansion. Isobaric means pressure. So here isobaric expansion is happen in constant pressure. It occur in constant pressure. So here W is equal to minus pressure external delta V. Change in volume. There is a change in volume. So W is equal to minus V1 from V2. V1 to V2. From V1 to V2. Pressure external. There is a small change in volume that denoted by dV. So in isobaric expansion, W is equal to minus integral V1 V2 pressure external into dV, small change in volume. Next one is isothermal expansion. What is isothermal? Iso means same, thermal means temperature. So same temperature. Isothermal expansion. In a thermodynamic process, in isothermal expansion. In isothermal expansion is happen in a conducting body. A body is a conductor. There is a change in temperature. Constant temperature will be occur. So energy will be moving here and there. So you know that what the Boyle's law says. Boyle's law says that pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. And also P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. So PV is equal to nRT for ideal gas. PV is equal to nRT for ideal gas. If you draw a graph for pressure and volume, you will be getting this type of slope. So pressure increases, volume decreases. In this such a case, if it is a reversible isothermal expansion, yesterday we have seen, if it is reversible isothermal, we have to take a container, put the piston, top of the piston we have to use a small mass to make it to compress. So when the gas inside the container and the gas external pressure will be equal in thermal equilibrium. So the piston will not move. So the piston work is done by the small volume which we kept on the piston. So it is a step-by-step process. Reversible is a step-by-step process. So in reversible isothermal expansion, work done for isothermal reversible expansion is minus nRT log E V2 by V1 minus nRT log E V2 by V1. So W is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log 10 V2 by V1. This is the main equation. It's a main formula, that is W is equal to minus 2.303 nRT into log 10 V2 by V1. So we know that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 and PV is equal to nRT. So wherever we want, we have to apply this also. So if number of mole is not given, we have to use PV. If number of mole is given, pressure is not given, then we have to use nRT. So W is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log 10 P1 by P2. Why? Because P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So V2 by V1 is equal to P1 by P2. V2 by V1 is equal to P1 by P2. This is a similar equation. Transpose the equation. So next, the work done in reversible isothermal process minus nRT log E P1 by P2. Log E P1 by P2, same equation. So PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT for ideal gas. If number of mole is not given, we have to use, instead of nRT, we have to use the parameter PV. So it is reversible isothermal process. Next one is irreversible isothermal process. Irreversible isothermal expansion. Irreversible isothermal expansion. So here expansion occur in vacuum. So in vacuum, the gas expand very freely. So there is no external pressure. So in vacuum, the gas expand freely. So free expansion. So free isothermal free expansion. So pressure external is equal to 0. So work done also will be 0. So in isothermal irreversible process, work done is 0. If pressure of external is less than pressure inside the gas, then work done will be minus pressure external into delta V. That is the irreversible process. If it is occur in vacuum, there is free expansion. That time W is equal to 0. If you occur in irreversible process, then not in a vacuum, in a system, we say that pressure external is less than pressure gas. So W is equal to minus pressure external into delta V. So next one is adiabatic expansion. We know that if it is isothermal expansion, it is a conducting system. Adiabatic expansion is a non-conducting system or insulating system. So in the here, heat exchange will not be there. So heat exchange is 0. So Q is equal to 0 in adiabatic system. So there is another one small equation formula. This you keep it in your mind. This is related to heat capacity. So this formula alone you can learn. That is P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. We know that is in such a way P1 V1 bar gamma is equal to B2 V2 bar gamma. So gamma is the ratio of heat capacity of Cp and Cv. So here the gamma value of monoatomic element, if it is a monoatomic element like helium, sodium, neon, then the gamma value is 1.66. If it is a diatomic, then that value is 1.4. The value is 1.4. If it is a triatomic, the value of gamma is 1.33. Diatomic element, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. Triatomic element, ozone. And if you see that, draw a graph for adiabatic expansion, you will be getting a large slope. You are getting a big slope than the isothermal process. If you draw the graph between pressure and volume, so the slope is large one. The slope value is more for adiabatic process. So here work done is equal to minus integral from V1 to V2, integral from V1 to V2 pressure external minus delta V. This always remember this equation. Work done is equal to minus V1 to V2 pressure external minus delta V. So here W is equal to, this also you can read this formula, you can note down for adiabatic expansion. W is equal to NR by gamma minus 1 into T2 minus T1. NR gamma minus 1 into T2 minus T1. This equation also you learn as it is. So W for reversible adiabatic, work done for reversible adiabatic, P2 V2 minus P1 V1 divided by gamma minus 1. This is the equation. So for irreversible adiabatic, what is the work done? So work done is equal to minus pressure external into delta V. Minus pressure external into delta V for irreversible adiabatic expansion. Irreversible adiabatic expansion, W is equal to minus P external into delta V. So you learn this all the formulas. Next one is enthalpy. What do you mean by enthalpy? Actually, enthalpy is defined as total heat content of the system. Total heat content of the system. It is equal to the sum of internal energy and pressure volume. It is equal to the sum of internal energy and pressure volume. So change in enthalpy is the heat absorbed or evolved by the system at constant pressure. So H denote the letter enthalpy. So delta H is change in enthalpy. Change in enthalpy shows that it is a heat is absorbed or evolved by the system at constant temperature. So delta H is equal to QP. For exothermic process, system lose energy to the surrounding, then delta H and delta H QP is negative. For endothermic process, system absorb energy from the surrounding. For that, delta H will be positive. Delta H is negative for exothermic process. Delta H is positive for endothermic process. That is a change. So there is a equation which is given in your textbook. You can read this derivations. So here heat content of the system at constant pressure. Heat content of the system at constant pressure. So delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N RT. Instead of E you can use U also. E is energy. So delta H is equal to U plus delta nRT. nRT is nothing but PV. So this is another one form of equation. H is equal to U plus PV. This is important one. Heat enthalpy is defined as summation of internal energy and pressure volume. Internal energy and pressure volume. So here H is enthalpy, U is internal energy and P is external pressure and V is the volume. B is the volume. So delta H is change in enthalpy. Delta means always it shows a change in enthalpy. So delta H is equal to delta U, change in internal energy, plus change in pressure and volume. So delta H is equal to delta U plus delta PV. So we know that P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So pressure and volume is a variable one. Then we can write this equation such a way delta H is equal to delta U plus P2 V2 minus P1 V1. P2 V2 minus P1 V1. So this is actually at constant volume. So there is two condition. First one is at constant volume. So delta H at constant volume, delta U plus V into delta P. Volume is constant. And if you write the equation in at constant pressure, delta H is equal to delta U plus pressure into delta V. Here pressure is constant. So if you see this enthalpy, H is the enthalpy. Enthalpy is defined as total heat content of the system. Total heat content of the system. So H is the enthalpy. It is a state function. What do you mean by state function? It change. State function means is change. That is depend on initial state and final state. What will be the temperature in the initial state? What will be the temperature at the final stage? What will be the pressure at initial stage? What will be the pressure at final stage? What will be the volume at the initial? What will be the volume at the final? This all the one are known as state function. So it is not affected by path. Whatever the system it may be, it is not affected by path. It is independent of path. So if you see this enthalpy, enthalpy is the difference between final and initial. Heat change in final and initial. Enthalpy change in final and initial. So delta H is a cyclic process. It is a cyclic process. So it is 0. Why it is a cyclic process? Because once it start, again it come back to the same thing, then there is no change in enthalpy. So we say it is a cyclic process, and also it is a extensive property. It is extensive property. So this all the points you have to remember for enthalpy. So related to the problem is there. A non-ideal gas goes from state 1 to state 2. So here state 1 condition they are given 2 atmosphere, 3 liter, 95 Kelvin. State 2 condition it is increased, pressure is increased 4 atmosphere and 5 liter and temperature also increases. So you can write all the given one in such a way. We can apply this, and if delta U or delta E is equal to 30 atmospheric liter it is given. So you can use this formula delta H is equal to delta U plus delta PV. Delta U plus delta PV. Delta U it is given 30 atmospheric liter. PV, P2, V2 is given, P1, V1 is given. So we have to do calculation such a way. 30 delta U plus P2, V2 minus P1, V1 is equal to 20 minus 6. So 30 plus 14 is equal to 44 atmospheric liter. That is answer for enthalpy. So what is the non-ideal gas goes from state 1 to state and find the enthalpy. So the enthalpy for this system is 44 atmospheric liter. Next another one problem. An ideal gas expands isothermally. So isothermally means the temperature is constant from 1 to 10 liter. 1 liter to 10 liter at 25 degrees Celsius. Find the volume of change in enthalpy. Find the volume of change in enthalpy. What is the formula? H, you have to remember this formula. H is equal to U plus PV. U plus PV. That is enthalpy. Always we use the word enthalpy and all change in enthalpy because it's a minute change. It is not a, so ideal gas internal energy depend on temperature. For always you remember that ideal gas internal energy of ideal gas depend on temperature. Internal energy of an ideal gas is depend on temperature. So next, delta H is equal to delta U plus delta PV. So here delta U is 0. Why delta U is 0? We know that for ideal gas internal energy depend on temperature. Here what we are given? We are given and constant temperature. So constant temperature delta U will be 0. So delta H is equal to 0 P2 V2 minus P1 V1. Here what is given? Volume is given at constant temperature. Volume is given at constant temperature. We know that according to Boyle's law, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So if temperature is constant, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Temperature is constant, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So here the temperature is constant, so V1 and V2 is 0. So V1 V2 is 0 means 0 plus 0, answer will be 0. So there is no change in enthalpy if our ideal gas expand isothermally. So you can copy this one in your classwork and read the derivation from your textbook for enthalpy, isothermal and free expansion of an ideal gas, and the problem it is given 6.2 and 6.5 problem is given. Go through the problem also.